Hello all. Okay, this video is just like a bit of a preview video of what's to come regarding the Lego bangers and pro stocks that I built. It's going to be, I use my makeshift Lego banger race arena. If you don't know already, I'm a big fan of the real stock car banger racing. I've been a spectator for over 20 years now. I've actually tried the banger racing as well. I've saw all sorts of travelled up and down the country, all over Britain, to see all sorts of formulas, from bus, coach, banger racing. That's just to go around the circuit and crash into each other. Lorries, trucks, all sorts. I've got lots of stuff on my channel anyway, if you just want to look back. I'm a regular spectator to the banger racing. The season started, the stock car. They do like other formulas as well, pro stocks, the usual cars. But anyway, I reenact my own. I use scaled model Legos that I build. I've done videos on my channel already regarding the models that I've built. I've built hundreds. I've probably got well over 100 different types of models, from lorries, buses and trucks, cars. I'll show you. I don't really want to make this video too long. I've got other models downstairs as well in the alcove, but this is just to show you very briefly what I've got up here. I've got plenty, I've got loads, and these are the ones that are going to be containing in the bangers. Look back at my channel, if you look back at my channel, particular to the Lego project series videos that I've made, it goes into a lot of detail. There's a couple of them I've actually put up on my YouTube channel already during the building of the double-decker coach 80-seater and the long hook arm skip truck. I use a weight scale. I scale my models to a scale of 1 in 30. So 1 centimetre will equal 1 foot, approximately, with Lego limitations. I also invented my own weight scale, weight sensational scale for the Lego models that I build, with the scale synchronising at 117 grams. That's the actual weight of the Lego model. Equals a metric ton, which is 1,000 kilograms. So that gives the weight proportional scale to all the models in relation to one another. So when they're on the makeshift arena that I've got, they smash into each other with probably a similar kind of proportional force to the real life models, the real vehicles. That's the idea of it. And also when you lift them, the models that I don't break up, I don't break models up by hand the boring way. I always put them in a destruction derby and do it this way. And then I build them, rebuild them with I assess how they break up. So I like to strengthen them as well when I come to rebuilding the new models. And I like seeing how they deform. I record it. I'll be making a video of this. I plan on doing it next week, actually. So what I'll do is I'm just going to show you the vehicles I'm going to use that I've built. I've got plenty downstairs, lots of Lego. 3 classes. So I'll turn it around and I'll show you. So it's all my own makeshift setup. Basically, I've got 3 main classes. This is just all making up stuff, right? So, plan on doing it on April the 26th this year. This is the format. I'm going to run it. Double decker coach versus the long hook arm skip truck. I've got engines, gearbox, transmissions, etc. All the details have been built in, seat brackets to everything. A lot of time's been spent building them. You'll see a video of that being built, and you'll see a video of that being built. So race 1 will be that. Race 2, baggers class 1, which will be these 7. Race 2 will be Pro Stocks all. That's all 6 of these vehicles will be going in. And race 3, race 4 will be bagger class 2, which is these. It's a symmetrical, as I call them. No, they were easier to build. I call them firecrackers because I just built them solely quickly so they could be destroyed, sitting target, just to add some bulk to the rest of them. I spent ages building these. Like, these take a bit more time. These do. They take ages. They're Pro Stocks, but they're not as long as the other ones I've got. They don't take as long because they're just built for baggers. But the coach, I spent a lot of time building that. You can see in the video. These are scaled, symmetrical scaled. These are what I call non-symmetrical. Sorry, these are called I refer to them as non-scaled but symmetrical. In other words, I put a wee bit of sort of detail, a bit of time. There's an engine tucked in there as well, and there's components and all sorts of stuff built into them. Same with that, I put engine in there. Let's show you. So I put a lot of, even the radiator and all that. Look, they've all, every one of them have got their own engine representatives. You know, on these panels, plastic panels, there's component representatives in there as well. This is a vintage one I call because this is how I used to build Lego way back in the 80s when I had hardly any Lego, and some of this is still the original Lego from the 80s and probably even the late 70s. So I built them like this, using this sort of idea, and I tucked the engine at the rear. That's how I used to do it, so I just built it for nostalgic, using some old Lego, and that'll end up in class 1 of the bangers. It's the cars. The weights will be on the photo slide, so all these pictures will be pictured with their weight, corresponding weight. The weight will be the actual vehicle weight that it's going to be representing. The Lego model weight, you just divide it by 117 grams, and that will give you the actual grammage weight of the real Lego. But it's to represent the real life vehicle in the scaled symmetrical ones. So the car will weigh just over a ton, I think it was. So it's like 117 grams equals a metric ton. So it was something like, I've got it written down. It's like, you'll see it in the photo slide. Let's see, that's split goes. So it's 17 kilograms. So it's 119 grams, the actual weight, because I weighed them on the digital scales. And then divide that by 117. That comes in at the 10 point, well, basically it's the 1.017, then I times it by 1,000 to get it into the kilograms. So it's 1,017 kilograms is what that vehicle will represent. As you'll see on the photo slide, because I put the weights next to them. So these are all the class 1 bangers, class 2 bangers, and as I would call these, the Pro Stocks. The single decker, for example, this one here, all the details built in. I didn't put the seats in this one because I bought this one a little bit quicker, but it has got the engine representative, axle, suspension representative, fuel tank and batteries. The coins that you hear moving around is the ballast tank, which is the belly or the wheelbase. I put coins in there to synchronise the weight because the Lego doesn't have the density to make it the proportional weight to the actual real life vehicle, so I've got to use the actual design of it and hide the coin so it doesn't hamper the look of it. I've got to tuck them in there and got to put reinforcements to keep them locked in there. So it doubles up as the look of the vehicle, the wheelbase, and a ballast tank, as I call it, which holds the coins to synchronise the weight to get it within synchronisation with the rest of them. So that weighs over, that's about 10.5 tonnes is what that represents. So it's just like 10.5 times 170 grams will give you the actual weight, which it is in fact 1,190 grams is the actual Lego vehicle weight. So I divided it by 117 and then times it by 1,000, and it comes in at 10,170 kilograms. It's dead easy. All it is you just weigh the model, divide it by 117, that gives you the figure, and then you times that by 1,000, and that will then give you this representative in kilograms. If you didn't times it by 1,000, it would be the representative in the tons. There's 1,000 kilograms in a metric ton, so it would be 10.170 tons. That's how many times 117 goes into 1,190 grams. It goes in 10.170 times. So that's 10.170 tons. And I like it. Yeah, so I like it in kilograms, so I just times the tonnage by 1,000, and that gives you the actual weight in kilograms that it represents. So I've done videos on these already. A lot of detail goes into them. Engine, transmission, prop shaft, suspension representatives, battery box representative, fuel tank representative, splash guard and mudguard representatives, engine bracket representatives, engine radiator, intercooler turbo, the hydraulic jack representative. I've used this as ballast for coins, so it just sort of like doubles up as a bit of a cover to keep the dust in if it was a skip. But the coins are in there to get the weight synchronised, and you've got the cab, the driver's seat, the steering wheel, the wipers, the wing mirrors, the lights. This has actually got wing mirrors and lights on it. Tail lights and number plate representative, the yellow bit being the rear number plate, the white bit being the front number plate. The front grille comes off to reveal the radiators behind it, and also oil and intercooler as well representatives, which is represented by these, and there's little representatives in there, tucked in there. It's designed in, incorporated in to the model. It's all done in units, so that's like the actual components, similar to the coach as well. It's got quite a bit inside. It's got all the seats representative, lights and air conditioning, destination blind representative. There's panels to cover up a lot of the stuff, the components, to make it look like it's you know, it is actually covered, but there's components built in there to give it the feel of it being a complex thing, you know. I like building a lot of details in. It's got a driver cab, the door opens, the courier seat, there's a toilet in there, representative, staircase representative, tucked in there, the luggage compartment representative is in there, and there's also an interior door representative, the staircase. I've done a video on this. There's air conditioning, light representatives, information TV representatives, refreshment representatives, hence the glass. You might just see the representative, the Lego representative for the drinks glass represents refreshments. These are wipers. There's quite a bit, but the engine is at the rear. The bonnet, where the engine cover comes off to reveal the components in there. One of these represents a litre in cylinder, a litre in cubic capacity. There's 12 of them, so it's representing a 12 litre engine. Rocker cover, sumps tucked under there. If you go further in, you've got the induction, the air filter, the exhaust system. You've got the other intercoolers tucked under there, so to remove these lower covers to get access into them. So I like to build all that into all my Lego models. I took others to build, by the way. I'll put them on later and just sort of do a wee demo at the moment. I've got the other single decker as well. It's going to be in the Pro Stock. I didn't put seats in this one. Some of the Pro Stocks, as I call them, are retired top shelf or mid shelf models. I've got two quality of models for my Legos, top shelf and mid shelf. And you got registered ones and unregistered ones, as I call them, because I register them all as well. So yeah, some of the models could take up to, I do that a wee bit at a time, but they could take from anything up to a month to build. Some of the bigger ones, the top shelf quality ones. Mid shelf quality is built quicker. The X, once the top shelf qualities, I mean, the oldest one I've got is about 15-year-old. Thereabouts. And a lot of them are well over 10-year-old. Keep them for ages. Some of the mid-shelf ones are kept for a while, but when I want to build another model and need to get reusing the Lego instead of just taking it apart by hand, destroy them in the destruction derbies and reenact the banger racing, which I'll be recording and making a video of that as well. So if you want to see that, just keep a check on the channel. But the contenders anyway, I've tried to show you. There's 19 of them altogether in this. Heat 1 will be the Pro Stocks. This is 7 of them, 2 vans, scaled symmetrical models. The non-scaled but symmetrical are the Class 1. There is a couple of symmetrical scaled Banger cars in here as well. So they'll fit in the scale that I use. Symmetrical meaning it's built with the details in it. Non-symmetrical, non-scaled is just quickly built for, as I call it, firecrackers, just to add a bit of, get the numbers up so there's something to target, to add more targets to it. I don't spend much time building these, but they do have they meet the basic criteria. They've all got to have wheels on up and move, they've got the steering wheel representative, and the seat representative, an engine representative, and a bit of a structure as well. So there's something interesting to see it deforming at these bits. I don't just build them and just build it like that. I put a lot of detail into them because I like to see how it deforms in the impacts. Bits go flying off and everything, as you'll see in the videos. I've put one up before. I put a couple of Lego Banger videos up on my channel if you look back. But this is the one I've got planned for next week. So to go through all the contenders again, they're in a slightly different order now, but it doesn't matter. That's the 2 Pro Stock vans. The door does actually hinge up, but just cheap, sorry. Bit of a suspension setup, an engine, transmission just tucked in there under the bonnet there. Rip it off so we can show you. So yeah, I've got some stuff. That's like a rocker cover, and then below there you've got like cylinders and cylinder head representatives. There's a sump tucked under there as well. Sump representative, which is an angled bit of the Lego, and it is bracketed, and I've got like bits of Lego that act as brackets, so that would come out on its own without having to take the rest apart. So it's constructed in a like complex. I do put complexity in it to make it more interesting, but it does take a while to build. But I like seeing it deform, and when I come to patch them up between the heats, it makes it quite interesting. Because it's like the real life bangers. I watch them in the pits repair the vehicles as quickly as I can for the next heat. So I do something similar to them. I get put the wheels on and try and get them on to out for the next heats. I call it a European Cup. It's just all fancy. It's just a makeshift, just to give it a bit of just thought I'd call it that, you know. Just the other big one I've done, I called it the World Cup, so I'm going to call this a European Cup. It means nothing, but I just call it that anyway. It's just for the fun of it. Cars, the same, they've all got their engines and stuff tucked under there's even a boot representative as well. The boot lids come off, but do it now. Because holding the camera at the same time, it's hard to take them off, but it's actually got the double. Some of the bangers in real life turn up with most of them turn up without interior. Some of them keep their dashboards, so similar to on the Lego, some of them will just have a driver's seat, but some of them will have a passenger seat, fully dressed. They'll have wing mirrors and wipers and that. This was many years ago, but Crimmon Raceway, they did actually do a destruction derby, and a lot of the cars were still fully dressed, had interiors in them. They just rolled the seats down and smashed the windows out, but that was a long time ago. I think things have changed, but I preferred it that way because I liked seeing all the bits inside, interior crumpling up. The more debris, the more exciting. So I'd like to have prefer it seeing all the glass and headlights exploding and all the plastic bumpers go. That's what I'd like. I'd rather do it. So I build. These are fully dressed. They've got wing mirrors, all the rest of it. Because these two are going to be a finalist. There's I might note this on the first one, the double decker, which is the double deck coach, this big one here, which representative weight, and that's 18,205 kilograms, and the skip truck is 15,435 kilograms representatives. So these two are going to go head to head in a bit of a banger race. I call it pro stock, so I kind of call it semi-contact, because I don't want to destroy them too soon, because it took ages to build and I want to get a wee bit of time out of them. I've had them for a few months now. I did do a video on my building that and the coach, because these were the first ones that I built for this particular meeting, as I would call it, for this event. So they were built solely for it. I bought them before, I bought that before Christmas actually. So these two will be going head to head. So you could actually put your, your own bets on as to what's going to win in a ramming competition between these two. So these two there are going to be the start. That coach and truck are going to go head to head. Just these two alone will go on the arena and battle it all. And the weight synchronised is as close as it could be for real life vehicles, because the double deck coach weighs about 18.5 tonnes, some weigh even up to 19 tonne, and some of these large hook arm skip trucks, 8-wheelers, could weigh up to 15-16 tonnes. So I've done this at 15.4 tonne. So that's the two that will go head to head and in the first heat, or the first race, sorry. So race 2, race 3 is the big one, the final one, race 6. All these are going to go into the arena, and all of them are going to battle it out. Well, actually, it's going to be more pro stocks versus bangers. So really, it's going to be all banger class 1 and 2 versus all pro stocks. So it's going to be all of the banger class 1 and 2 will verse the pro stocks, and it will be the inevitable hit. These will decimate the bangers, but I want to try and retain them for a bit. I don't want to totally destroy them on the night. It maybe get another event, patch them up and get them for another event. But none of them have been banger raced, if you like, before. This is its first. So they're all freshly built solely for it. There isn't really any X models in this one, because sometimes I use X models from the top and mid shelf ones and put them in the pro stocks first, so they're not totally right in the first event. So I could maybe get a few events out of them, then I'll eventually just destroy them in a banger race. So you've got all 19, there'll be a lot of carnage on race 6. And that's your lot. A lot of these non-symmetricals. This is the typical example of a non-symmetrical, non-skilled. I mean, I just build them, as I say, I call them firecrackers, just to add a bit of, to fill in bit the numbers up, just moving targets basically. So there's something to hit, because I don't want to just break them up too quick. So I want to see bits flying. So I built these quickly, and just to add a bit of. Get the numbers up, bit of carnage. Whereas these go into the intricate details. The pro stocks are the most intricate detailed ones. Then, you've got like symmetrical. Scaled symmetrical is all the models basically. So that's a scaled symmetrical. I call it that. It's scaled and it's symmetrical, meaning it's got all the bits built into the details. It's resembling a vehicle. And it's scaled because it's actually scaled and weight scaled. So all the pro stocks and all the models I build are symmetrical and scaled. That's scaled symmetrical. So it's scaled for the car, it weighs the same. This one here is it's non-scaled, but it's symmetrical. So it doesn't fit into the scale with the hundreds of, well, I've got over 100 anyway, but the hundreds I've built over the years use a scale. This doesn't fit in with that scale because the car would be obviously massive, so it's the wrong scale. It won't fit in that scale, so I'll call it non-scaled, but it's symmetrical, meaning it's got the details in it. I could probably show you the engine. I'll take that off and show you. So I've removed the cover. I've tucked in there a lot of components, intercooler, radiator and stuff, all sorts of gubbins, all in there. And it's bracketed in, it's quite flushly tucked into there. Boot space, floor plans, double floor. I didn't put a rear panel or wipers or lights or anything on this because it's just for quickness. So it's got a bit of a dashboard representative in there as well. It's not so easy on there, but so it just basically fits on there, clips it back on there, the boot and the spoilers. So that's a non-scale but symmetrical. That's a large scaled symmetrical. This is a non-scaled symmetrical. It's not as fancy or tidy as that's not as tidy as this one. Neither's that, but it's still got components in there. So that's a non-scaled but symmetrical banger. This is non-scaled symmetrical vintage. So I used to build Lego when I was a kid back in the late 70s and early 80s. And right through the 80s. And some of this Lego is the original from the day. It's nearly as old as me. But I'm 49 this year, and I started building my Lego in the early, well, probably late 70s, early 80s. So, but the collection, as you can imagine, has grown considerably since then. I had hardly any Lego back then. It was just a biscuit tin full, and I was only able to build. This would be like a big model back in that day. So I built one for old time's sake, like the way I used to build them. Oh, no, even that's original as well, that yellow bit there with the lights. It's an original, that's an actual old bit of Lego, and shows that window. You can see it's discoloured. So that's the exhaust pipe representative. That's what I used to do when I built them, and the engine's tucked in there. There'll be also these cylinders represent double A as a cylinder and a litre capacity, cubic capacity. Well, they do in the scaled ones anyway. So naturally the models that I build are scaled and symmetrical, non-scaled and non-symmetrical. So that's class 2 bangers. This is all just non-scaled and non-symmetrical. So bits could go flying everywhere. So a bit of a mixture. Somebody asked about why I build the models in miscellaneous colours. The only reason that I build them in miscellaneous colours is because that's all the Lego I have, and I don't colour code my models. I just build and pick the parts up that fit. If it fits, it goes on regardless of the colour. I couldn't really give a monkeys about the colours. So there's only just a few instances where I care about the actual colour coding of the models, and that's things like lights. Rear lights have got to be red, front lights have got to be white or clear. On the buses, when I build the bus models, the seat colour codes have got to be the same throughout. So it's got a seat pattern. Particularly the Elsa, that's the buses I remember from in the 80s, but I'm not going into a long story. They had dark brown seats, so I used black for the seats for that. The number plate, like the edge plate at the back's got to be yellow, the front one's got to be white. The prototype, because I've got like a mass, I use like mass production, so there's models that are built identical in every way, shape. I've built them as well in the cars, and the prototype uses a colour coding on it. For example, this one. So that's a prototype. So there's a copy, quite a few of them, identical every way. Every bit of Lego is put together exactly the same. And I colour coded this one green, so I know that that's the prototype. That's a prototype. I use a black bonnet on this one. And from then there's lots of copies made from that prototype. This is the Ilse bus that I built years ago. It has black seats in it to represent the dark brown seats that the Tayside Volvo Ilse RV type bodied buses that ran for Dundee had. They had dark brown seats. They were the buses that got me in the buses, but yeah, I won't go into that. That'll be a long story. But I've done videos on my channel, earlier videos called Volvo Ilse buses, parts 1 to parts 3. I've done 3 videos about that. So you can look back on my channel. I've done that about 4 years ago. No, it wouldn't be 4 years because I only started doing YouTube 4 years ago to this month actually. It was April 2020, so it would probably have been I think it was late 2020 actually. or early 2021, probably late 2020. So it's quite early on in my channel. I've done a 3-part article video that I made regarding the Volvo Elsys. The buses that got me into buses, as to becoming a bus spotter when I was aged 12 back in 1987. That's how long I've been officially into buses. Prior to that, been into lots of large vehicles, even buses back before then. But a long story, I'm not going to go into that. So that lost where I am now. But yeah, the colour codes. I don't really have a colour code scheme. It's too complicated. It takes too long. I'm not interested in going down the road of saying, I can't use that model because it's the wrong colour. No way, sod that. I'll just use the bits that fit. So that's why they're all multicoloured. And that's the only reason that they're multicoloured. So, anyway, I'm going to round the video off. So just look out on my channel and you'll see all 19 of them in my makeshift Lego stock car banger race arena. And the real stock cars use the mouldy old dough for the banger theme, done by Lieutenant Pigeon. I also do it as well, but not very much for YouTube because I don't have this, I don't own that music for copyright reasons, so I can only just say that I use it. But you'll see the footage anyway as the crashes happen because I don't play music during the event. It's just for my own instead. You have like a cut version and an uncut version. Well, the cut version obviously for the YouTube, got all the copyright music. But the music that I listen to during it will be the uncut version. But I don't have the copyrights, so. Anyway, that's it. Look out for that. That should be going on my channel as soon as I get around to doing the event and getting the video compiled. I've still got this video compiled. And as I say, if I remember, I'll put a couple of links in the description to the double-deck coach being built and the large Caram skip truck 8-wheeler being built as well. I can set it up on the channel over here. I'll put a link in the description to make it easier for you to find if you want to see it. If you want to see it being built. The rest I didn't film being built. I just got on with it and I didn't have time to film it all. So. But the main event will be filmed and I'm looking forward to it myself. Right, okay, hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching this and just keep a lookout for it. Yeah, bye for now. See you later.